Hello everyone, Alex here, and today we're gonna try to give some tips to help you with system recovery. It gives you very nice rewards that I see some people are kind of neglecting system recovery. So I have two accounts, and usually I'm higher at system recovery that I am on main stages. So many people probably are pushing more for main stages. They're more in your face and you see them. It increases those collection rewards. But I would never neglect system recovery because they give you diamonds that are very very nice. Give you some gear, especially the fifth gives you better gear, and the 10th gives you even better gear than that. Those two pull banners are very very helpful and this one giving you a duplicate for 10 fragments can be super helpful to upgrade because you need many elite fragments, and system recovery is one way of getting them, so they can add up to some degree. And those 10 fragments, you cannot use them for the best. I don't have any. You cannot use them for the latest epics. So for this, for example, you cannot use Mr. Terrific and Guy at the moment, but maybe in a month you can. So you can hoard them up, or you can use them better for a character that you need to upgrade. These here are very important, and I'm soon gonna be running out of them to some degree, and I think it's one of the main places to get them is here, system recovery, where you can take a piece of gear for a character and give them some extra stats, but then these extra stats are only applying to this character. So you can move this piece to a different character, for example Blue Beetle, but when it's on Blue Beetle will have all the stats but not the last one, the attack bonus. This will only be for Nightwing forever. And you don't really have an abundance of those, so it's best to be very selective where you use them. And one way to to get more of those is system recovery. And when I'm close to finish a chapter, so like even now, but and I really need something in here, for example the 10 fragments, which will allow me to upgrade the legend epic from to one more rank. I am very often using mercenaries from my league, so you have them at a higher stars than you potentially, or the higher levels, or generally speaking stronger character. So you can use them in here. So you can use the Sinestro, for example, here, and try to beat that in 5 turns that you otherwise couldn't, and get the rewards immediately. That's definitely one way of pushing them. Also, to make very clear, some beginners might try to do all of them combined. You don't need to finish all the 3 requirements with one attempt. You can try go in with a team that you can barely scrap by. You get the victory conditions. After like getting some levels on some characters, you can try it again. So I'm leaving some and keep pushing forward now. Cleared, but sometimes I have like a few chapters that I need a few a little bit more investment to get through them, or to wait for the next week to hire a mercenary. But then you can go in with a slightly stronger team and clear with the characters alive. Generally speaking, those are easier with a character alive than clearing them in 6 turns, for example. Sometimes they can be very tricky. And after a while, where you are even stronger, you can go in and try to make a team without agile characters and still clear it. So originally, when I start a new chapter here, I'm making my strongest team that I can, that doesn't have the agile or whatever it is, without agile or tactical or mighty characters. I push it as far as I can go. Then I putting the agile characters if they will make my team stronger, and just try to get the gold, and they sometimes like the character alive or the turns that otherwise I couldn't, and then I go back and they push it again. So let's make some teams that don't have those requirements. For example, without agile, you cannot really use any healers, which is annoying. So Kid Flash and Pandora are agile. You also cannot use a Nightwing, which is the best tank in the game, and it's kind of annoying. You can try do something like this, and that's definitely, usually I'm using something like this. So I would go here or Bride in here. Grodd you could use if you don't have those characters. You can use DC Superman, but then you cannot activate this, so it's not the best. If you have big Sinestro, you can try using Sinestro. I think we can make a team that's debuff based without using like agile characters basically. So yes, you cannot use a like Deathstroke in here, but you can try this with like her to help and she had some debuffs with her ultimate, or you can, well, they would be placed like this usually, or you can try to you can try Wonder Woman just to add some damage and see where it goes, but something like this is a commonly used debuff team that maybe can help you push through it. My selection is not massive, I don't have him for a long time, so usually I'm taking advantage of the size of Wonder Woman and Constantine here, but there are some situations where the opponents would Constantine sacrifices 15% of your health, and then he gives you recuperates that help you gain some of this back. And you also have a lifesteal with Zatanna, but there are some situations with this 15% from Constantine would make you not survive an ultimate from the opponent that you otherwise would have. Then you remove Constantine and you try something different. I don't know how well Sinestro would do without many characters adding debuffs, but he's not bad. Let's go here to make a different team without Mighty. So without Mighty, for me definitely has really worked. A debuff team has worked a lot better because you can also use the main pieces from a block team and they make a very strong combination. So you use the two best block characters, you use the three best debuff characters, and you have a very nice hybrid. So I would kinda do it like that, but I'm also using, I play it manually and I use many times Ocean Master's ultimate because it adds bleeds and helps a little bit with the damage, especially here where you need to add bleeds for them to not get shields, to get smaller shields, because bleeds negate shields and the damage from bleeds goes through, but if the opponents have bleeds on them when they add shields, then they will add a smaller shield basically, and it counts as a debuff, so it makes Sinestro's ultimate potentially one cost lower. You can try, I guess, like something like this, or even here like Slooper, and basically depend on that. If you don't have Sinestro, you would do something like this, maybe with Ocean Master, especially if you have some synergy at level 10, it will help with the survivability because you don't have, no, it's a, you can try this, or you can add the Kid Flash now, because we can have those, and try to do something like this. And let's quickly talk about like 5 turns, what I'm using if I need less turns. There are some situations where like someone like a healer or like a legs that would add some shields, especially like if there is someone that sacrifices their HP. For example, he does that. Phantom Strangers. So if you have a legs this active at rank 10, it gives them a shield 20% of the sacrifice the opponents are doing. So this gives you passively extra shields. In some situations, actually having someone that helps with survivability when there's a tricky opponent that are like higher level maybe than you, and it can help you clear it 5 turns. But generally speaking, I would do like a team like this. So usually something like this. Let's showcase it just a little bit, and I'm gonna also talk what you can do with the third team. I think it was without a tactical. So you go fast, you have a plus a crit chance and crit damage for the first 3 turns. So together with the frantics that you have from Wonder Woman, you have Zatanna, from Zatanna, you have Wonder Woman and Constantine dealing a lot of damage. Then he does a lot of single target damage, and there are 2 turns now. You kinda hoping for some stuns to land. Many situations help you to clear it faster because the opponents might not do like an ultimate that protects them. So that's a small reason why Nightwing is in here, but usually just he's a very survivable tank that the Lex is not, and he deals some damage passively that helps you when the opponents hit you. They take some damage that can help you push it faster. I would rather like he died quicker. Yeah, because we are 5 turns and we don't. Red Hood, he revives quicker and does an ultimate for free. That's the reason he's in here, because he will do 1 ultimate for free when 2 turns after he dies, he revives 1 and does 1 ultimate for free. So that's a reason you have him in here, because yeah, he goes and does a lot of single target damage. Yeah, we didn't do it, it's 5 turns, but I'm showcasing it just a little bit. Maybe if you land the stun on a like Stranger and he didn't put out a shield earlier with Wonder Woman's first ultimate or whatever, then you could clear it in 5 turns. Or I'm also using many times you can use Lex, especially if you don't have like a way bigger Nightwing than Lex, because he calls in assist and whatever. But you can also try to have Green Arrow, because a reason you have like him, just to make it abundantly clear, it gives you at the start of the battle 20% crit chance and crit damage. You kinda have it discovered now with Zatanna putting out a 5 stacks of frantic, so and have like 90% already base crit on a Wonder Woman. So the crit chance doesn't matter as much anymore, and the crit damage is gradually weakens by turn. I don't know exactly how it weakens. If it were weakened by 3, that's the expected. It's like 7.5% or 7% per not 7, 6.6 every turn up to the third turn, where then it doesn't count anymore. It gives you some sort of resistance that some situations help you survive, but and he does an ultimate that deals a lot of single target damage for free, so you can have 1 more ultimate in these 5 turns that you normally wouldn't. But many situations are also like Green Arrow here, because it gives you 16% extra attack for area of effect that are your damage dealers, basically. Wonder Woman and Constantine and Green Arrow, and this counts for the whole match. So if you like are pushing for 6 or 7 turns, then after 3 turns you will still have the 16% extra damage. So I think this adds up a little bit more. The silence can be nice and help you, like the opponents not do an ultimate for 1 turn longer, so you can deal more damage to them. Otherwise they would stun you or seal themselves or whatever. Also, in some situations, you kind of need to spread apart your damage more, and both of the characters there are very annoying. So, having a Green Arrow doing an ultimate that hits everyone allows you to clear faster than having a Red Hood that deals more damage to one person with his ultimate. Uh, it's still for free, but so it can be one more ultimate than Green Arrow would put out. It's not always the best, I think. You can also try like Lex in here to call some assists and do a bit more damage. But Nightwing is more solid and will stay alive for the 6 turns, even though if you are attacking a stronger team like that. So usually that's what I'm trying to do when I need to clear it in less turns. But there are some situations where, like having Kid Flash, even just his advanced attack, that you don't need to use the ultimate, but his advanced attack would allow like Wonder Woman to survive and cast one more ultimate that otherwise wouldn't work, or especially like in situations where it's Robin would kill you. Having actually like a team that is helps with the survivability, so something like this, or even like Kid Flash. So many times this can work better for. Can also have him there if he's beefy, but she's usually a little bit bigger. So you can spam like a Wonder Woman ultimates, and because he does some healing passively, he will give them more attack, but he also gives them block 50% block chance and block amount that can really help you survive there. Then you can spare using like if you have Zatanna, for example, you can spare using an ultimate from Kid Flash that you would need to survive, because you have this block amount and you can use more ultimates that deal damage. If this makes sense, but usually I'm trying the teams that I said. Depends also who you have big. If you have a massive Sinestro, might make more sense to use him than a Constantine. In my experience, the size that I have them now, Constantine deals like 10-20% more damage than Sinestro, so they're very close. If they have like, if you give like Sinestro's Wonder Woman's artifact in gear or whatever, Constantine still does deal a bit more damage, but not by far. So if you have Sinestro's 5 red, yeah. Is the other team I didn't talk about? Without tactical, I think is the previous. It's without tactical. Those three are basically the requirement. Let's put here a team without tactical. So here without tactical. So you're losing Zatanna, Lex, and Constantine. That's a bit annoying. So without tactical, if you have those characters, might be one of the strongest team in the game. Might even be stronger in many situations than using tactical, especially like with Lex and the Robin team that I talked about. This can be super strong and can help you like a push forward, something like this. This is an awesome team. You can use Pandora in here, but he's a bit more flexible and heal himself. So this would be awesome. Now if you don't have him, you can still try to do without tactical. I'm gonna try to do this and clear them quickly and even have him revive. You don't need his team synergy. Who's a nice tank, except Blue Beetle. And he's not tactical. I'm gonna have him in the front row, and you can have like Green Arrow, I guess, helping with the damage. He can be. No, he. What am I doing here? He can be decent. A nice front row tank that I didn't have to use up to now because I have other characters, but he's definitely up there as far as not tactical tanks. And if you don't have Blue Beetle, I will still use something like this. As I said, Pandora can work. Cannot use Sinestro. You're definitely covered by healing and damage there. You just need a second strong tank, and there are some options. I was using for a while when I didn't have a big investment into Ocean Master, and I had on those two characters because I was using in the main arena Red Hood. I was trying to do something like this, so you can even have them like hitting the same person so you clear them faster, and probably I would kinda like one of the two positions Kid Flash. I'm playing it manual of course, but especially the higher challenge ones, but you would be doing a lot of single target damage that way, and clearing the opponents. Also Wonder Woman Ultimate would really hurt the opponents, and you have survivability. You have Red Hood as a tank substitute because he revives, so he can absorb some more attacks and he will cast a free ultimate. But having like Wonder Woman and Batman do a lot of damage, and Red Hood in some situations, and you have Kid Flash for survivability. This definitely helped me push the stages when I didn't have a Ocean Master. You can use Ocean Master in here, maybe instead of Batman, and have his synergy, or maybe instead of Red Hood, and have Batman contribute with the damage. I think I covered the teams here. And of course, yeah, if you're pushing like something, the latest one, and you cannot clear it, sometimes you look at the opponent and you mess around your team, but usually you use the strongest team that you can. So something like this. Many times, especially when I'm pushing like a stage that they would otherwise kill me, I would throw a Kid Flash in here. And usually have something like this, but I'm kind of finding out that if you have a big investment into like Blue Beetle and the Ocean Master, many situations actually your strongest team is this one, or with Zatanna instead of Kid Flash, or with Pandora, especially if you have a big investment to her. Also, like if you have Zatanna, you can try having a mirror here that helps you survive. Sometimes changing the reinforcement here can really help you, like either clear it faster or survive that you otherwise wouldn't, and push it forward. Sometimes, like pushing a stage, the other 2 or 3 after that would be easy, and the gold here is awesome. 210k gold is a lot. The diamonds are a lot that can help you, and as you are pushing more system recovery, if you see here, the pieces are becoming more and more pieces, or that more of them are becoming pieces that are giving the best stats. So those pieces are more valuable. I have a video, many videos with about gear. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but having like attack bonus here as a base stat, 25% can really be a lot more impactful than having 3.5 thousand attack as the main stat. So if you remove this, let's go with Constantine. So if you remove this, like 48,000 attack, how much was it? Yeah, 48,000 attack. You're also losing the set bonus, but let's remove this. 38,000 attack. So definitely a difference there that he can help you more. Okay, this is a bit higher gear than is 3 instead of 2. But there's a difference with the stats. If you had the same with attack, it would count as less. So it actually gives you good gear here. That if you pushing like the 5th, it gives you tokens that help you unlock characters. The 2nd, always now for me, is epic 2, like the 5th. The others are epic 1, and the 10th is epic 3. So you can gain some awesome gear from that. Yeah,